Hello and welcome to my video lectures. Myself Dr. Shubhendu Mujumdar, and in this lecture we will have an overview on the biodiversity of India. India occupies only 2.4% of the world's land area, but in such a small space it harbors around 7% of the global biodiversity. There are more than 45,500 species of plants, which accounts for about 11.8% of world flora. Out of these plant species, around 33% are endemic and are only found in this country. There are around 17,500 species of flowering plants, which represents 6% of world's total angiosperm species. More than 91,000 species of animals are found in this country, which include 397 species of mammals, 1232 species of birds, 460 species of reptiles, 240 species of amphibians, 2546 species of fishes, and more than 60,000 species of insects. All these species of animals found in India account for about 6.5% of world's fauna. Diversity of cultivated crops and domesticated animals are also fairly high. More than 800 species of crops, including 379 wild varieties, are cultivated. The livestock diversity includes 40 breeds of sheep, 27 breeds of cattle, 22 breeds of goats, and many others. Endemism is also very high in India and manifested most prominently in the amphibians and reptiles. India occupies global rank of 10th, 5th and 7th in terms of number of endemic species amongst aves, reptilia and amphibia respectively. India is also recognized as one of the 8 centers of origin and diversity of crop plants. Besides, India is the third largest producer of fishes in the world. For such tremendous diversity of life forms, India is considered as one of the 17 megadiversity countries of the globe. It is indeed intriguing to know why India is so rich in biodiversity. This diversity can be attributed to the vast variety of life forms and climates which result in tremendous diversity of habitats ranging from tropical to temperate and from alpine to desert. Besides, there are vast stretches of Gangetic plains, dense and diverse forests, streams, rivers, lakes, mangroves, and a very long coastline. Biogeography is the study of the distribution of species and ecosystems in geographical space and through geological time. Biogeographic realms are very large spatial regions within which ecosystems share a broadly similar biota. Areas under a particular realm are usually with uniform geographical features, flora and fauna. From biogeographical point of view, the location of India is very unique. India is actually located at the junction of two biogeographical realms. The Himalayan region falls under the Palearctic realm, while the rest of the subcontinent falls under the Indo-Malayan realm. Hence, India is blessed with rich biodiversity. Biogeographic zones are regions which contain a combination of species, habitats, and physical features that are sufficiently distinct from their surroundings. In India, there are 10 distinct biogeographical zones. For instance, Trans-Himalaya, which includes the cold deserts of Ladakh and other areas, then the entire Himalayan range, then the deserts in the Rajasthan, semi-arid zone mostly in the Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Western Ghats, which is one of the biodiversity hotspot of this country. Then there is a wide Deccan Plateau, very fertile Gangetic plains, highly diverse northeast zone, the coastal area. India is blessed with a very long coastline, the west coast and the east coast. And there are islands, Andaman and Nicobar and the Lakshadweeps. All these 10 biogeographic zones of India has been elaborated in a separate video lecture. Such biogeographical zones are often used as a basis for prioritizing areas for biodiversity conservation. According to Forest Survey of India 2002, 20.55% of the country's geographical area is under forest cover, of which 12.68% areas are dense forest and 7.87% are open forests. The forests of India are also vastly diverse. Champion and Seth in the year 1968 has classified Indian forests into 16 major forest types. Conservation of such tremendous biodiversity of India is of paramount importance, not only because it provides various essential products and services necessary for human survival, but also because the livelihood and socio-economic condition of millions of marginalized people of this country is directly dependent on various bioresources. Hence, benefits arising out of sustaining the biodiversity is intricately linked to poverty alleviation and sustainable development of this country.